Hello, people. Welcome back to the Over and Out Veterans Podcast. This is Charlemagne, your host this evening. Hope everybody had a great week. As I said before, we try to come to you every Thursday, talk about some things, let you know what's going on in the veterans community. Um, this week has been a big deal. The Pact Act was passed, signed, and delivered. So make sure you go to the VA website and get the ball rolling to receive some of those benefits. I know I think the whole term is Sergeant First Class Heath Robertson promised to address the Comprehensive Toxin Act. So, you know, this right here is fairly new. Um, I was reading it goes back to Vietnam as well. So, the vets from Vietnam era, you definitely take a look at this and see if it could benefit you and your family and families of individuals that have passed away, are deceased. Make sure you look into these benefits for yourself and other family members in your community. You never know until you try. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a link up on my website. If you go to www.overandoutvp.com, and I'm gonna try to put a link up for you guys to streamline the process, so you don't have to jump through a whole lot of hoops, to get to the website. I mean, to get to these claims. But yeah, it was good. It was long overdue. Pay attention to the ones that didn't want this to happen. So pay attention when this election come up. Make sure you pay attention to the individuals that was like, we don't want this to happen. It's because of whatever reasons, but I don't see a good enough reason to vote no, against something that caused death and injury and illness to our fellow vets. So kudos to the ones that said yes, they wanted this to go through, and kudos, for Commander in Chief for signing it. Everybody doesn't agree with, who's in office or what they're doing. We're never going to agree. That's just part of life. I mean, we're never going to agree on everything, but when you try to make good on a wrong, I feel like you're trying to do something, push something in the right direction. So you know, um, it is what it is. We're never going to have a perfect administration, no matter who's in office. Um, but today I just want to reach out, um, and talk about transition. Um, Transitioning from the armed services, something that you're used to the civilian world. It's a topic, a lot of us vets don't really address. We tend to mask it, we tend to hide it, we tend to not talk about it, but you don't know what's going on. But you still trying to function, but you like, what I know for me myself, I was like, what's going on with me? What's the issue? What's the problem? And I just want to come with you today, and talk about that a little bit and what I did to cope with it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not clergy, I'm not none of those above. You know what I'm saying? So what everything that I did is from personal experience. So, like you said, if you feel depressed, you feel anxious, definitely call 911, reach out to the veterans hotline. Do what you got to do to make sure that you're good. You know what I'm saying? Shoot me a message on, Messenger or whatever. I'm on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. If you need, just somebody holler, just shoot me an inbox or something. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. But all right, pushing forward, I got out of the military. It wasn't because of, I was ETS or anything. It was because of med board. So my transition out was unplanned. And that unknowing was definitely trend it was definitely trying, it was a trying time on me because, I already went through my first enlistment, and I'm ready into my second one. And then it's like, oh, let's go to the doctor, about to head to PODT to, become an E5 to go to that training, for the Army guys, the PODC, whatever. So it's about to go to training for that. Learn my medical records. Some medicine I was taking, it was like, you need to evaluate this before, you start PODC, which I wish I'd known that before. I mean, I was literally had my bags packed to start the training. When they said, you know what, nah, we gotta do something different with you. So that actually started my transition out of the military. Excuse me. So it was a trying time because after that first enlistment, I already said, hey, I'm gonna make a career out of this thing. I went in when I was 21. I was like, well, I'll be 42, you know, because I was about to turn 22 when I enlisted. So I was be 42 by the time I retire, if I did my solid 20, everything, and like you said, like some of us do, you get out, be like, oh, I'm just starting a whole another career. I had a first sergeant, his whole thing, he wanted to become a trash man. But that's neither here nor there. But the thing about it was I wasn't mentally prepared for that transition because I was already dead set that I was going to stay 20 years. And it happened kind of fast. I mean, I um, I never forget I was at Fort Bragg. I was there. That issue happened. Started going to appointments, all this other stuff. And then next thing you know, they was like, you unfit for duty. So I'm like, because of medication, I'm non-deployable at this point, and all this. So it's like, unfortunately for the military, if you're not deployable, you less than a soldier. You less than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a mission. And by me being a combat MOS or a combat, for some of you jobs, combat rate, for other listeners out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm, I'm not capable of doing my job anymore. So they're like, well, I'm not gonna reclass you. You just have to get out. So, like I said, went through that process. It took about a year, some change, So this whole time I'm like, hey, what I'm gonna do? I'm thinking I'm gonna stay in this place for 20 years, but now everything has a shift, it's like what's next? So got out, you know, first thing, we go to use our GI Bill. You know what I'm saying? Using my GI Bill, got a work study job working at the vet center. Um, it was cool because I got out in March, um, started school of May of '04, so the kind of, it was really no transition there as far as work, just going to the work study job, that was a couple of hours a week. Um, I did get unemployment. A lot of people don't know about that benefit. You are entitled because your contract ended, so you're entitled to unemployment until you can find employment. So did that um, for a while as well, and you know everything's going okay. But like I said, mentally it's still foggy, still a cloudy area about how I'm going to move forward in my life because I mean, basically, they knocked off the next uh, 12, 14 years of my life because I was expected to be in the military. And so, that was just my experience, transitioning because of the injury. But, pushing forward, I got to the point where I got to a state of depression. I was like, well, I didn't want to do anything. I spent time with my family. I was there, but I wasn't there. You know, it was just like, well, what am I doing? Who am I? Because you become, I feel like my identity was still stuck with the military. My identity lies in a uniform and it's no longer there anymore. So who am I? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? And it takes that readjustment to gather yourself and say, hey, I need to get some help from counseling or whatever. Or just like I did, I tried to start reevaluating myself and say, where am I going wrong? What am I doing wrong? Because everything that I did felt wrong because I'm used to this structure every day. So end up going to get a job, working at working with kids with disabilities and things like that. It was rewarding because you see that there's people out here that actually need your help. So that was rewarding for me, but it still was a gray blank area because you still looking for that identity again, even though you're helping, serving the community, you're still trying to figure out who you really are because even though you're in the military, everybody's wearing the same uniform, everybody has their own identity. But at the end of the day, everything for you is pretty much laid out like Groundhog Day almost. You know what I'm saying? Because we, I know unless you're in the theater of war or whatever, I know it looks different, but generally, everything's the same repetitiveness every day, unless you're on a training mission or whatever. But even then, you get up, you eat chow, you stay into, you do all your, your basic things while you in training. And then, the day goes on like normal. But out here, it was like trying to readjust to civilians and understand the civilian makeup. And I think just me personally, like I said, I'm not a physician. I'm not anything beyond Charlemagne McCarter, but I know it's other you guys going through the same thing that I went through. But that understanding civilian life all over again, it was an adjustment. It was just solely an adjustment because the civilian world is just what it was, civilians, and it lacks a lot of structure that we had when we was in the military. And a lot of us ended up in the military because we had already experienced the civilian world and we wasn't pleased with it, or like you said, it was nothing else going for you. Like you try to go to college, you try to work, you try other things, and you like, oh, this is ain't for me. So that's how you end up in the military. So a lot of us had already experienced the civilian world and didn't enjoy it. So getting thrown back to it was yeah, it was a transition. It was a mental hardship because of the lack of structure that you're accustomed to and the lack of camaraderie that you're accustomed to. Like something happens within your company, your unit, your battalion, everybody kind of pulls together and do things. But out here, things happen. It's like you got your family. That's it. But when we all in base together or uh, wherever we station at together, that becomes your family. But sometimes you become closer to family because you don't have that family. Well, some people didn't have that family structure coming in, so you become that becomes your family, and getting out of that structure is just it's just weighed on me for a while. And I know a lot of you guys and ladies actually experience the same thing. But you know, here's a few things I did. Um, I actually started mentoring other people. Started, I listened to other vets and understood their situation was a lot worse than mine in some instances because they didn't have a clue where to start. At least I did try to go to school. They didn't have a clue. They didn't even know what they're gonna do once they got out. That the next when the last paycheck stopped, they didn't know where they're gonna eat, where their next meal's coming from. So it was just me helping out doing that, just seeing vets or whatever. And then also I eventually, went and talked to a counselor at the VA because it was helpful, giving me a little insight on what I was going through, and I found out later it was depression. I didn't know it was depression when I was actually going through it. I gained weight. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to do nothing but just sit there, and I didn't even watch TV. It was just like I would just sit there. You know what I'm saying? Almost like blank face, no nothing. So some of the people that are civilians and you have family members in the military that you just sit there and they just they're zoned out. Yeah, they probably are zoned out. They're probably just reliving things or just trying to process things. So try not to weigh on those people because a lot of times, they're ticking. Unfortunately, I hate to use the term ticking time bombs, but that's just the reality of it. Sometimes it's ticking time bombs, and something could either push them over the edge, to hurt themselves or hurt others. So be strategic when dealing with an individual that that's out there. A lot of us we've been trained and taught not to face our fears, and and a lot of times our biggest fear, the fear of ourselves. We fear ourselves before we fear anything else because we have to find our identity all over again. And you've been identified, especially in the rank structure, you've been identified as this, and this. In the civilian world, it doesn't matter what you had on your collar or on your sleeve. You just a civilian. They could care less. Some of them don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So they'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I was an E6, I was an E7, I was officer, I was a second lieutenant, third. You know what I'm saying? Colonel, full board colonel. Okay, go over there and pick that box up. You know what I'm saying? That's the civilian mentality, and you gotta readjust all that to fit in. And a lot of us don't transition well. And but it's like I'm just here, just came up here for a few minutes to talk about that and just give encouragement to you guys out there to seek help or like I said, just try to find a way out to start processing things. Just start listening to yourself, start listening to family members, because my my ex, she would always say, "Well, what's wrong with you? Why are you not talking, or why are you not doing this, or why?" You know what I'm saying? We perceive it as nagging sometimes, but sometimes we can't see how we're reacting to everyone, around us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys, and ladies, like I said, just listen to people around you, and it's not that they're trying to hurt you. I'm quite sure the people around you love you, and they're just trying to make you a better you, and that's all I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be a better me every day. I lived in that shell, honestly, probably about 10 years. Um, I lived in that shell of denial of being depressed, denial of, having some mental issues, as far as transitioning. And I know I'm not the only one. So, but I'm freely here to talk about it. And a lot of people won't talk about it because first of all, you don't know what's going on. You're trying to fight through it because that's what we're taught to do. Conquer and destroy. And we can't constantly conquer and destroy ourselves because we do that, we're no longer here. And like I said, if you ever get to that point, definitely seek help. You get to the point where you feeling like you don't have an out. Definitely, 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 definitely call the hotline, call 911, get you some help. And family members, same way. You see a person just looking not themselves, try to get them some help. Try not to be forceful with it. Just ease your way into it, talking to them. If you've been a person long enough, you know what buttons to push or what things to make them comfortable. So do those things to try to ease that person's mind and just try to get them to get some help. But yeah. But you know, another thing I did also, I started coaching with my kids, teams, and became more involved as a parent. Um, that allowed me to get away from me. you know, that allowed me to be away from myself thinking about the what if or the what coulda, shoulda, whatever. Or like you said, if you guys been in 20 years or 30 years, you like, hey, I can't. Boss is just private around. It's E1, E2 around no more. I'm not in charge of this battalion. You know what I'm saying? Just that mental concept of going back to, in essence of things. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look at it like that, but the essence of things going back to basically round zero. You know, um, and sometimes that's hurtful. Sometimes that makes you feel like you're worthless, but you're not worthless. You just like I said, you just transitioning. And I'm gonna come back more and talk this. I'm trying to get some guys and some young ladies to come up here and tell their story about transitioning because I think what I'm gonna focus on for the next couple of weeks is just transitioning methods to try to help you come out of the funk per se that we always get in when we leave it. Some guys, yeah, they say they're happy when they get out. They do their first enlistment, and then you see those guys a couple of years later. Hey, I'm trying to get back in. I'm like, why? I thought you were so happy to get out. Well, ain't not. You know what I'm saying? Because that old cliche, grass ain't always green on the other side. It looks green, but it's still the same grass. But sometimes where that grass is growing slow and it's more structured over there, when instead of it's pretty right here in this spot, but then it's a lot of dead grass on the other side until you get to another patch of green, pretty grass. But if you got the consistent, even though it's short grass, it's still grass. You got a consistent grass over here that's growing you and grooming you, and then you got to go to this spotty areas where you don't know what's living in between that other patch of grass. Yeah, it's tough on you. So I want to talk y'all ear off tonight. I just want to just drop a few little nuggets, you know, and let you know what was going on with the PACs, and that's the PACT Act, and you know, vets don't fall short on your benefits. I mean, you're entitled to those benefits. Like you said, go to the website. Everything is streamlined. One click away from everything. You want education, click on it. You want this, click on it. You don't have to navigate through all that stuff on the VA site. I mean, it's going to take you to the VA site, but you ain't got to navigate through it. So just go to www.overandoutVP.com. And like I said, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, um, what's the other thing? YouTube. Leave a comment. On Spotify. Leave a comment. I'll get back with you. Um, like I said, I'm looking forward to connecting with some other vets interested in coming on my show. Shoot me an inbox on Facebook, or go to Over and Out Veterans Podcast at gmail.com. That's Over and Out Veterans Podcast at gmail.com. Interested in being up here telling your story, telling how you transition. Like I said, I want to touch on transition in the next couple of weeks, just to get you guys some help, you guys, some ladies, some help. When I say guys, ladies, don't take offense to it. I'm just using it as a whole. Um, I know we got to go through this gender thing, about people and their gender. So I just try to stay across the board, say guys as a universal term. So don't hold it against you, people. Don't hold it against you, please. But this is Charlemagne, um, Over and Out podcast, Over and Out Veterans podcast. Like I said, don't forget to follow me on all the platforms. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. I'm looking forward to talking to some vets across the country, across the world. I know we still got vets living abroad, working for contractors abroad. So, hey, let's connect. Let's be in touch. Let's be each other's support while we, trying to better ourselves and become a better us. But until next time, this is Charlemagne signing off.